how honored we were to have everybody here from the NFL and from ESPN and NFL Network, and to be able to showcase our facility, to be able to showcase the senior class that has been so special to me, and to have those guys go out and perform like they did today was obviously an honor for me to watch and be a part of, and glad we were able to get everybody in the Fargo-Moorhead community to come out as well and share in that. So I can open up for questions.
Carson Wentz throwing the ball on the Fargo Dome field again, at Gate City Bank Field. What was that like to see that, and what do you think of his performance?
I think he did a phenomenal job, and I had some people tell me that he did a great job, and it was neat to see. You know, we hadn't seen that since the week leading up to the championship game, and you could tell, similarly to when I saw him out on the field at Frisco. Boy, he was juiced up. He was ready to perform and play today, and that's the kind of guy he is. He's just so competitive that I knew he'd shine on a big stage today.
Coach, I know you visited with the Browns. What did you get from that conversation about their intentions with Carson?
Well, I know they were impressed, you know, and I think everybody kind of says some positives, but kind of, you know, holds their poker hand, so to speak, pretty well. But I know they were impressed with what he did in the classroom this morning, as well as what he did throwing the football. So we'll see what transpires here over the next 6 weeks.
When you're taking this in as a coach, are you taking in the whole atmosphere with all the media outlets? Are you trying to individually watch how each of your former players are doing in drills? How do you kind of
Well, I'm glad we videotaped most of it, because I was kind of in awe, like a lot of you guys were, to see all the people that were out there, and for me to get around and visit with a lot of the NFL personnel that was here to answer questions about a lot of our guys, not just Carson and Joe, but a number of the other guys that worked out. I was around answering a lot of those questions. So I'll watch it and see how they did on video, but how I was just so impressed with how our guys conducted themselves, and as well as how well they performed.
D-backs coach, what did you think of C.J. Smith's workout?
I thought CJ did a really nice job, and I thought he ran well. I know some of the testing with vertical and broad, he did an exceptional job, and it was neat for me because Mayock asked me specifically about CJ on NFL Network, and so we just got to get his name out there more. I think he's a young man that whether it's a draftable guy late or a real priority free agent, will be a guy that will have a hard time not making a club, because I just know what kind of player and person he is.
You talked about getting guys' names out there. How important is it for Carson and Joe to bring this much national attention to their teammates, the other Bison working out today?
Well, it's huge, but you know, we have a number of scouts that come in throughout the year, so they get a chance to look at those guys from August on. But absolutely, it's a huge benefit for all these other guys that are working out to be able to get the scouts in here. I know there's some that missed because of weather, but for us to showcase all our senior class was really special.
comparisons with CJ to Marcus Williams when they're both at the same stage of, you know, making the transition out of your program?
Yeah, I think really similar, and really I attribute that to Marcus, where CJ's development is, because he kind of taught CJ a lot of the things that he knows, and they're both so cerebral, they're both so smart on the football field. They both are extremely good cover guys, as well as have the ability to understand the game, and you know, I'm hoping that Marcus's success, especially as a priority free agent and not a draftable guy, which we kept putting out there that we thought he should have been a draftable guy, will help CJ at least, if not get drafted, get into a camp.
When you talk to these GMs, these scouts, do you find them asking more questions about guys that are younger, guys that haven't had their pro days yet?
No, not really. I mean, now it's all about the group that's out there today, but it's neat because they talk to us, all of our coaches, about our culture here, and how neat it is for them to watch us on film and say, we can see a really well-coached football team. Love coming into Gate City Bank Field and seeing the atmosphere here. They think that's pretty special. I think I've got Mayock talked into coming back for a game so he can see what this place really looks like on a Saturday.
Is there a number one question you get asked about Carson when you're talking to these coaches and these scouts? Is there a leading question that people have?
Not necessarily a leading question. They only want to find out about the entire package and stuff, and they're probably always ask, is there anything that we're missing? Why is this kid so perfect? And in reality, you know, he is what he is. He's a genuine guy that's a servant leader that tries to make everybody around him better. And, you know, hats off to his parents and stuff for the way they raised him, and his brother for being such a great support role model for him as well, that there's not a lot out there.
Chris, how is Carson's notoriety helping recruiting in general and possibly recruiting elite quarterbacks down the road?
Well, we hope so. You know, we'll find out. Obviously, this year, because it didn't help us in last year's class because there wasn't a whole lot. We had already had our decision made there, but we hope so. We hope it'll get us to get a few more guys on campus. You know, especially at that position, the quarterback position, to allow us to maybe spread out our recruiting, so to speak, but to get some guys on campus. And that's the key to recruiting in general, is to get young men to visit your campus.